Started from brand new, had like 4 tattoo clients. We were doing like 2, 3K, 4K. It was nothing. Right now we're about like a little over 20K a month. It'll grow even more over the, this month and next. After our conversation here early in the year, after we figured out, okay, we dialed in a lot of the other stuff, we tried this out and we actually started closing more clients.
What was the reason in the first place that you decided to niche down when you were already doing, 10, 20K a month? Okay, Jonas, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, all good, Cam. How are you doing?
Very, very good. So for the people that do not know you, and quick side note, by the way, I've decided to sit down. This is the first case study in the last 3 to 6 months where I'm not on a treadmill. I've had some bad comments saying you need to fucking sit still because I'm sick of seeing you wobble around on the videos. But anyway, give us a rundown of who you are, what you do, where you're based, and what kind of agency you run.
So yeah, I'm Jonas. I'm 25 years old. I run a marketing agency. I've been running it for 5.5 years, but it's only like in the last year, 2 years that I've really tried to dial in everything and like grow it as a business. Beforehand, it was just, so I could actually go travel, which I've done a lot all over the world. But yeah, now I'm locked more in. I'm got a place in Denmark. Yeah, just trying to grow the business.
Sick. And remind me, are you in, I'm just trying to remember what kind of clients you target. Are you in the US market or are you in the Denmark market?
No, it's a little too small. So yeah, US,
yeah,
little client, few clients in Canada as well. So
sick. And you're in a pretty unique niche. You're in tattoo studios. I guess run me through, like, if we just go to where you're, like, where are you at right now, revenue wise? What's the goal? If we just start with where you're at now.
Yeah, of course. Right now we're about like a little over 20K a month. That's included new cash, but we did close a lot of new clients over the last couple of months. So it will grow. Yeah, it'll grow even more over the, this month and next.
Got you. And I know you were actually, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while. I think you were actually in the initial monthly like accountability school community that we had a while ago, right? And then you jumped into License and Scale in the very early days before majority of it was even built. I guess run me through what's that transition been like. If we take it back maybe like 6 or 7 months ago now, where was the agency at there? What was the biggest challenge or constraint that you feel was holding you back? Yeah, I'm curious to know more about that.
Been doing the agency for quite a long time, right? But I didn't really have any structure beforehand. So like if we just back it up a little over a year, I think like September, October last year, I was having like 3 clients or so, but they were like bigger clients just from all different sort of niches. So it was just a bit of a mess. Didn't really have any structure on how to get new clients. Didn't have any like structures on software, so how to automate stuff. So it was really just me, one other guy who were doing like, yeah, just random shit. But then we pivoted everything, started really niching down. That's when we tried the tattoo niche. So in the beginning of this year, we actually started from brand new, had like 4 tattoo clients. We were doing like 2, 3K, 4K. It was nothing. That's also part of why we wanted to come into License and Scale and the community part that it was before, to just learn how we like build, an actual company and not just, us 2 guys doing stuff, getting the structure, getting the automations. And it was really good in the beginning because a lot of like all the people in there were really good at helping out. But since you started pivoting to towards more course where you had all the videos, but still the whole community part, I think that it just got even better because now, and also obviously you don't have to be as much involved as well, but like the whole okay, we have a question, we just literally go into the course and like everything is there.
100%. And just tying back to what you mentioned, because I know you said you were kind of dabbling like many different niches. You're already doing like 10 or 20K a month, and then you decided to specifically niche down into tattoo studios. I think a lot of people get stuck with that, right? Where they get a client here, a client there, a client there. What was the reason in the first place that you decided to niche down when you were already doing, 10, 20K a month?
So we had these few big clients. Then we lost one, lost the second, but we still didn't have any solution to how to get a new one, like just, consistently. That was when we were like, okay, we can't do this anymore. We need more clients, maybe not as high as price point per client, but just get more security. And we figured, okay, by doing a niche, we can get more on a more consistent basis because it's copy-paste more or less, right?
So you lost a few clients, and these were big clients that were paying like big retainers. So you just had a lot of key client risks. So you made the decision to productize fulfillment and go into a specific niche. You didn't have that issue. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Got you. Okay. So you niched down to tattoo studios about a year ago, right?
Yeah, about a year ago. Yeah, we had our first client starting up in January this year, so it's not even been a full year out.
Oh, wow. Okay. So not long at all then. Cool. Walk me through the progression from, 0 to 20K a month. What do you feel like were the biggest constraints or like walls that you hit at the different stages? As we say, new level, new devil, right? When you go from like 5 to 10, 10 to 20, so on and so forth. What were the biggest challenges that got you stuck and how did you break past those challenges?
So in the beginning, it was just fulfillment, right? We need to figure out, okay, how do we even perform for local businesses? Because before it was mostly web shops and it's a completely different game. So we knew ads, we knew all that part, but we needed to go high level was still new to us, for example, and just, performing for local businesses where it was more leads, it was more communication. It wasn't just, sending people to a web shop and then buying. So we needed to figure out, okay, how do we get results for these clients? Then, of course, it was also, okay, how do we get more clients? Because we didn't have, that many results within this type of industry. Then, of course, just starting to build a team because the more clients we got, the more tasks. And again, we were only 2 people in the beginning. So we started to hire more people in as well to cover even more tasks and to just fulfill better for our clients as well. I guess the latest devil, I should say, has been sales, just how we optimize getting even more clients, how we get higher pricings, how we get more upfront cash, all that good stuff. And that's been a huge game changer as well.
Yeah, and I know when you first came into the program, you were running a model where it was more like pay on appointment, and we obviously had the conversation about tweaking the pricing structure to make sure you could collect more upfront cash. How has that changed what you do, and has that been beneficial? What do you see as the biggest benefits that came as a result of that?
So before coming into the program, and also even part of like while being in the program, just trying to figure everything else out, we had this commission structure, which is, obviously it's good to get people in, no risk. But it's also the shitty clients you get in. It's not the good clients who, are actually doing stuff themselves and all that. And also we obviously weren't making as much per client as we could. So after our conversation here early in the year, after we figured out, okay, we dialed in a lot of the other stuff, we tried this out and we actually started closing more clients after we switched to fixed fees and increased the prices. So I think a lot of it was the whole, like how we framed everything as well. And yeah, you're definitely a big help in that whole regard.
That makes sense. So I guess talking about the program specifically, because you've been Ghost for a while, you've been working in on the background. I guess run me through what you found. Number one, like what was the biggest thing that you feel helped you the most in the program? And then if you can think of something where you were like, I didn't expect this to be a benefit, but it has helped me as well. What would you say those things have been for you?
And I think one of the main things, other than of course all the sales stuff and that, has been like, you share your snapshots, right? You share all your automations, and it's just, and like all your documents, fulfill for clients and all that stuff, right? All these templates. And it's just been a huge help for us to not trying to reinvent, everything, but just, okay, how do we make this whole system that obviously works fit into our industry? Because it is a little, different, obviously. So it's taken some time too, but it's like it pushed us 10 steps ahead instead of us trying to figure out. And also just, okay, knowing what's possible, especially regarding the automations, right? Like a lot of these stuff we would never have thought of ourselves because it's just so advanced. So
cool, man. So what's next for you? You're at 20K now. What's the next goal, say going into Q1 of 2026, and what are you going to do to get there?
We're set a goal for next year already. We want to get, like right now we're at 25 clients or so, right?
Yeah.
Still ramping some up, but next year we want to get to 100. I think it's definitely possible because again, we're building the systems now. We have a lot of the structure, the framework. So next year is just going to be about expanding the team, right? So we can still handle all the clients, and then just doubling down on sales, increasing the ad spend, and just getting more clients in because we know how to do it now. So for January and February, those are by far the main goals.
And I think obviously we just spoke about prior to this call as well. Definitely getting a setter in place to increase efficiency in the pipeline. Show rate's not bad right now. I think you said you're at like a 60 to 70%, but having that setter in place can get you to like a 75% show rate. And no shows cancelled, you get more of those back on the books. Even if you close one additional person there, you make an immediate ROI. So more efficiency, and then eventually getting yourself out of sales. I'm wondering as well in your market, because obviously the retainers are lower in the tattoo market with how much they make per client and things like that. Wondering if there's a way for you to add on a performance model where, because you call your clients leads, right?
Yeah, for some of them, we both do that beforehand with you. So depends. But we have
Could we could be interesting to look into that. Obviously, we've got some SOPs I can send over to you as well, where, you know, you take X amount per appointment. So that way your call center is a profit center. You increase the average retainer, you increase LTV because they're spending more in the same time frame. I think that could be something interesting to look into for yourself as well, with your retainer being stuck in the confinements of how much your clients can make from an ROI perspective.
Definitely. Yeah, we do it for some clients already. I think for some of the older clients, we definitely need to upsell them on this as well. That could be where we make the most money, or like the biggest profits at least. So,
well, cool, man. That was pretty much everything. I guess the only other question to ask yourself is, you know, overall program experience, I guess, for somebody that may potentially be sitting on the fence thinking about joining. They're looking at the price tag. They're like, holy shit balls, why would I pay that amount of money? What would you say to that person? Because you were in their shoes, you know, come start of this year.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, I didn't have the most money in the beginning, like going into the year, just, you know, to spend on things. Definitely didn't think that I would be going in and like, buying a course, because I have done that several times before, you know. I think most people have, and some of them are good, but a lot of them are really shit as well, even though they might be expensive. So, you know, when I considered this, obviously I was in the community a little bit before. I got like a little taste of the potential and obviously, you know, who you are. So I think to me, like, it was basically the only way to go. It wasn't really a question. I can say this now, right? Because I already bought it, but you could have set like up twice the price. I would probably have done it anyways. Even though I was a bit skeptic, but I mean, I knew this was what we needed to take it to the next step and the next step and the next step. Because obviously, like, the course just keeps developing. Like, both myself and my partner, we're sitting here trying to keep developing and optimizing everything. We can't keep up, man. Like, you're putting up.
Yeah.
So.
I maybe need to chill out on the sheer amount of content coming out. I want to make sure everyone's up to date.
Yeah, no, and it's amazing. But yeah, there's a lot. So and you just keep, you know, updating everything. So it's it's definitely been the best investment I've probably ever made, honestly.
Awesome, man. Well, cool. I appreciate your time, and let's get you 100K ASAP, and we can do another one of these next year.
For sure, man. That's a goal.
Sweet. Peace.
Peace.